In the conclusion of a previously unreleased episode recorded in July, the Ricks reviewed their favorite TV and movie trailers coming out of this year's Comic-Con International, as well as a few of the misses.
I have to say the next one that I'm probably most excited about is Picard. And you know that I have been a vocal, I think, CBS is trying to, milk people for every dollar, and I think it's ridiculous that we have another streaming network. However, it's Jean-Luc Picard. Yeah. And so I'm going to have a hard time not picking up CBS All Access just to see this one, because I love the actor. I think he has always been, one of my favorite captains of the Starship. So I'm very excited about this one.
Yeah, the trailer did look pretty cool. I have to admit. It'll be interesting to see what they do with the character. It's nice to see him again.
It's a great character. I mean, he was always, it's like you have your different James Bonds that you love.
Right.
He was one of my favorite, Starfleet commander. So
it looks like they've got Data back too. I don't know if it's all the time or just the premiere or something, but Data looks to be on it. And so does 7 of 6.
I forget what I read. I guess from the other CBS Enterprise type show, this is like 1,000 years in the future from that one or something like that. It's ridiculously far ahead. And they have this great scene where he's opening up, I don't know if it was a drawer or cargo thing or whatever, and you could see the various pieces of data in the container. It reminded me of something from IKEA where some assembly is required. Let me throw a couple more out there that I thought were really good looking. One of them is Snowpiercer. Did you ever see the original?
I think I did. Now this is a series they're creating though, right?
Yeah. So Snowpiercer, I don't know if it was a B movie, but it kind of felt like it was low cost movie to make. Although amazingly well executed, great storyline. Basically this group of people that the world has ended, and the only way they can survive is to stay on this train. It has to keep moving. Blah blah blah. Right. Anyways, they've made that now, or they're planning to make that into a series, which I think will actually be kind of fun. I mean, I can picture the whole tension between because they had different factions. Of course, they had the haves and the have-nots and everything in between. I can see them really playing off that and making it a compelling show.
It could be interesting, inexpensive to do. Plus, you can do the whole exploration of the human condition in a tight quarters there. So that could be interesting.
When we were talking about superhero movies in the past, and we were talking specifically about black superhero movies in the past, one movie that I said was totally underrated that nobody really talks about anymore is Blade.
Yes.
And I have to tell you, one of the most exciting things I heard from Comic-Con is they are making another Blade movie.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Just the other night I was I don't know, maybe it was a week or two ago, I turned on the TV and they literally had a Blade marathon going on, and I sat there and I watched the first 3 movies.
This could be a great TV show too. I mean, it's such a great concept.
Yeah. No, but here's the question. Because it is coming out, does that mean the Blade is now going to move into canon for Phase 4?
I bet he will.
I think that would be really cool.
So who's going to play Blade in this? Do we know?
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to pronounce the name. You're going to have to help me here. Mahershala
Ali, perhaps. He actually looks like Wesley Snipes.
Really does. And in fact, Wesley Snipes, because, people were all like, why aren't you using Wesley? And everybody's kind of getting pissed off about it. Wesley Snipes actually came forward and said, chillax, man. This guy's good. Let him play it, which is pretty cool because Wesley was really pushing to have this movie made for a very long time. I think we talked about that before.
Yeah, I frankly would have been totally excited if they got Wesley again. I hope that they use it. I hope he gets something like a cameo or something in this. But this guy, I'm sure, will be great.
Absolutely, I'm super excited about this one. I think this will be a nice addition to the MCU.
Totally. Yeah.
The other one I thought that looked kind of interesting was Dark Crystal. I know this is one that we talked about earlier, and you're all like, no, puppets. But maybe I was just the right age at the right time or whatever it was. But I love the original, and it was Dark Crystal and Krull, was that the other one? Krull, that came out around the same time. And I loved those as a kid. I loved the science fiction. I loved the Jim Henson stuff. But I can see that that may not be your cup of tea. So I got one question for you, though. One that I was surprised you didn't mention was Batwoman.
I'm not super excited about that. I'm super excited where everything's going this year. So this is the last year of Arrow, and my understanding is I don't think it's a full season, and they're going to do sort of a meta arc for all the DC shows on CW. Is it CW? WB, whatever it's called these days, that is based on Crisis on Infinite Earths. So all of the shows will have a crossover, including Legends. So this is based on that story from the 80s where the multiverse is essentially collapsing or is being destroyed by this enemy called the Anti-Monitor. And all the heroes of all versions of Earth have to team up to stop him. So it could be super fun.
Yeah, it definitely could be.
All right, so lame stuff. That Top Gun 2, I guess it's not Top Gun 2, I guess it's Maverick Top Gun. This is a movie I never felt like I ever needed to see. What I did like, however, was the line from Ed Harris in the voiceover. He says something like, 30 plus years of service, that you can't get a promotion, you won't retire, and despite your best efforts, you refuse to die. I just couldn't tell if he was talking to the character or the actor there.
I'm going to one-up you. Are you ready?
Okay.
Did you see the trailer for Cats?
Oh, jeez.
Talk about a movie we don't need.
No, I would just love to see the cast of Black Panther perform Cats. I think that would be interesting. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up then. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Rick and Rick Rule the World. Please tune in next time for the one show where everybody's name is Rick and everybody rules the world.
Thanks so much, everyone.